A curse isn't something you can easily erase, because to put it in words, it's the feeling of bearing a grudge against someone. Hey there, guys, welcome back to the... What? No! What are you?
I'm a ghost
no,
from the painting.
That cheap-ass painting I bought from the garage sale?
It was thrown away for a reason.
I didn't know!
Ooh. Shut up, Ketchiro! What's going on, everybody? Welcome to another episode of the Men of Zen, an anime research podcast. My name is Brent.
I'm Phil.
And I'm Aiden.
And today we're getting spooky, but also kind of funny, and also kind of weirdly racist sometimes.
Disclaimer, none of us are racist, homophobic, transphobic.
No, we're all inclusive.
We're all very much inclusive here.
Absolutely.
And this show just crosses a line at some points that you can't help but laugh at the sheer stupidity of it.
In early 2000s, this show would have worked. It absolutely was like, that was like the crutch of like American jokes for some reason. Like, this was funny as shit, early 2000s. Sorry to just keep talking, on and on. Oh, we're getting down with some ghost stories today. If you haven't seen Ghost Stories, written by Toru Tsunemitsu, also known as Gakko no Kaiden, or Ghosts at School.
Also known as the weird, funny dub anime bits you see on TikTok that are 100% real.
I didn't know, I thought they were all just memes and jokes, and I was like, oh, funny.
I thought this was an abridged show.
Yeah, I thought it was an abridged thing too.
No, it's a classic. It's abridged anime before abridged anime was a thing.
Yeah, so there's a really weird history with this show where Ghost Stories in English has the most hilarious, at times just over the top, super pop culture-y referencing, just full of third and fourth wall breaking all the time. But it's only like that in the English version, written by ADV. Mm-hmm. Is that the right acronym?
Yeah, ADV and I think
ADV.
Aniplex, I think, helped.
Oh yeah, Aniplex. Yeah, Aniplex did help with this. Yeah,
Aniplex.
Aniplex. Yeah, you know exactly what that is. So Ghost Stories is ultimately a collection of popular school ghost stories in Japan that was rewritten to target a younger audience. It was originally written by Toru Tsunemitsu, and art was done by Kihachi Hanara. Goku no Kaiden began its publication in 1990 in Kodansha and finished with a total of 9 volumes sometime before 1999. He also went on to write a second series called New School Ghost Story that began in 2005, and that has 5 volumes for the manga. Now, this show, again, in Japan, you can watch this was all on Crunchyroll. At least that's what I watched this on. I don't know what you guys watched it on.
Oh, yeah, Crunchyroll.
Use Crunchyroll.
You know what
I know, yeah.
We're not going to say it.
Yeah, no, but
you
it's...
support.
Yeah.
Gotta get this as a text notification.
That's so good. So on, at least on Crunchyroll, you can watch both the English and the dub version. In the dub, I did watch a little bit of that. That's just a great, slice of life about some kids that have these adventures at their school. Every day or every episode is a new ghost story that talks about some peculiar haunting or some ghost or another that is within or nearby the school. And these kids, just through various means, have to deal with how to get rid of or exorcise or kill the demon or ghost or whatever it is. In English, it is still largely the same, but it is just riddled with jokes and laughs. They almost 100% changed all of the... They changed every single line, and that was, what was weird is that the original production company, they approved it. They were like, yeah, sure, whatever. They were literally told, quote, do what it takes to sell the show, and they're like, all right.
I mean, they sold me on it. I saw those clips from TikTok, and I laughed my ass off, and while I'll admit the first episode was kind of slow and didn't have as many jokes as I was hoping. I'm like,
yeah.
I was like, man, I really hope this picks up. Episode 2 just goes in, and it just keeps going. And every line you think they will not cross, oh no, they crossed it.
Yeah, absolutely. From racism to, and again, like as Phil said, none of these are our point of views or represent us in any way. So we're going to be using a lot of quotes that we're talking about here. And so if we say these words and you're offended, you were warned, right?
We apologize that you got offended, but we also warned you.
Also,
I mean, the show was dubbed in like early 2000s, like
Yeah,
2000s.
early
yeah, like
2000s
if you
when-
don't want to talk about early 2000s humor where everyone was talking about what there was like dead baby jokes and when jokes about blondes like being dumb was funny, I guess. If you remember these days, there's a lot of references to people being Jewish, as some in like a light like from the character that is Jewish, a lot of times being poked fun at for being Jewish.
The girl that pushes Christianity on
super hard.
It's
everyone.
hilarious.
And yeah, it's just at the end of the day, this anime is meant to just make you laugh,
Right.
and it's not to be taken seriously at all. And we hope that you really can just take it as it is. It's just a mockingly stupid, like dumb humor anime
It meant,
from
like-
the early 2000s.
Yeah.
And if you don't mind, Brent, I'm just gonna talk about a little bit about why it was so like hilarious, if that's okay.
Yeah, absolutely.
Tell me why it was so funny.
So basically, the original studio, Aniplex, we all heard of that name if you watch any anime.
Oh, yeah.
Mm-hmm.
They basically own the rights for the Western distribution rights, and they kind of approached ADV Films, which you guys probably heard of them too. They produced some major anime series like Neon Genesis, Excel, Saga, all of that. They basically just like what you guys were saying. They were trying to sell it because it was flopping in Japan. At the time, I think in Japan, that's when like folklore and all the spooky horror animes were at the height. They were
It
trying to
does
push
have
this.
a diehard like
Yeah.
following though for the original written shit for it, because like when ADV announced that they were going to make this show like back in 2005 at Otakon, like there was a bunch of people up in arms about like whoa, you can't change,
Right, they
you
got a
can't
lot of
change what they
backlash
said.
from it.
Yeah, they did.
But I think the only rules they actually were given were don't change the character's name, don't change like the way the ghosts were slain or anything. Like they want to keep the Japanese folklore and the characters the
Right.
same, and then don't change like the meaning of each episode. But then other than that, they can do whatever they want with it.
Right, so as long as they kept it to here are the kids, this is the ghost thing that happens, and if there is a lesson to be learned from it, the moral of the story still has to remain. Otherwise, they're like, fucking say whatever you fucking want, man, I guess. I don't know. And I know they said they approved these things, but did they really listen to it?
Right.
It was one of those moments like, oh, hey, we listened to the first, 5 minutes. It seems legit. Okay, go for it.
Oh, you got Greg Ayers to do it? Oh, hell yeah.
I don't even need to, listen to it. Right?
Yeah, no.
Isn't there, a lot of really amazing voice actors in this show that...
All of them.
Yeah, it's a stacked list.
Hella stacked. Let me pull these up here. I got all these dudes written down.
I can only imagine how fun they must have been, all the fun they must have been having on set while reading this.
Oh, dude, absolutely. So there's only 6 main protagonists. So I guess even before we get into the protagonists, I should talk just a little bit about what Ghost Stories is.
Yes.
So Ghost Stories, in the nice way, tells the story of Satsuki Miyanoshita, who moves into the hometown of her deceased mother with her the rest of her remaining family. And from the very beginning, when she first rolls into town, she almost immediately starts having paranormal happenings as she drives by a really old rundown school, and then right next to it is the really nice new school. So they immediately were leading towards, there's gonna be ghosts, and she's getting spooked out right from the beginning. So with all these bizarre happenings, Satsuki and her younger brother Kechiro, he's a first grader, their neighbor Hajime Aoyama That's Ketchiro.
That's going to be a sound you're going to hear quite often in the show, so we're just letting you get a glimpse of it now.
Momoko Koigakubo. She's an older friend from their new school, and now...
Incredibly religious.
Yeah, so... It's...
Okay, I gotta level with you here. Remember that I told you that I met your mother at the Exodus homosexual conversion camp? Well, that was just one of the floors of the hospital. The one floor I was on was the rehab wing. Before I met Jesus, I was really f***ed up. Ex-slut. Anyways, we heard this...
Before I met Jesus, I was really fucked up.
So that was a quote from said character.
Now, honestly, I forgot to go back and check this. It's so the last character's name, the quote Jewish one of the group,
Leo.
it's Leo. Yeah, okay. So because somewhere maybe it was a typo by them, I have down Rio, but I also have Leo. So I was wondering if maybe that wasn't the Japanese pronunciation of what his name was supposed to be. We just changed it to Leo.
Okay, I can see that. Leo is
because realistically they don't have an L sound in Japan, so
yeah.
Oh,
I guess the closest they use the R sound, so it's like ra, and it kind of has like a rough L imitation, like so in Metal Gear Solid 4, the lolly lule lo doesn't exist because that's not a character set that they have. They don't have L's. It's the closest thing I have is like there's it's like when you do ra, it's supposed to be more like ra.
Okay.
Like there's almost like a D sound to it.
I just remember Leo a lot because he's in danger quite a bit, and I just remember I can hear Satsuki just yelling, "Leo, Leo, Leo!"
So, like I said earlier, like every character brings their own element to the table in this story, where Leo is kind of the he's the nerdy know-it-all who has knowledge about like the ghosts and stuff that they're facing, or what it is, along with Amano Kujo, but he's the one that like knows all of the legends, and like he knows of the cursed internet website that you're not supposed to go to, and everyone else doesn't believe him until he finds it and gets pulled into the website somehow, into this demonic hell realm, and they're trying to figure out where their friend went until he calls them on their cell phone and is like, "Hey, I'm in the computer," and they're like, "What?"
I love that scene where they're like, "Dude, are you high? What's going on?" He's just like, "I can't see anybody. There's no one here. I feel cold. I feel so alone." You smoked all of it, didn't you?
I know in one of those ones they mention. So he's one of the probably the best. Is it third or fourth wall break when they're like referencing themselves?
Oh my god, they do so many wall breaks.
Yeah, like is it? Yeah, I guess I'd have to find out if it's third or fourth, but it's fucking one of the two. I don't know. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Where Leo like
Fourth wall break.
Yeah, the fourth.
wall
Okay, yeah,
break.
because he's talking to the audience.
Yep.
Yeah. So I mean, he at times he recognizes that he's like zombies is like we can't do zombies. Zombies was in the last episode.
Oh yeah.
Or he mentions outside movies like The Ring.
Oh yeah.
They're like, what is this movie from? Like The Ring or whatever? And he mentions the girl's name
Like
from
we
The
can't
Ring.
do this one. We just did an episode on
He's
this.
always referencing the characters too, like real life people like Lindsay Lohan,
Yeah.
or Paris Hilton, or something.
Yep. Yeah. So somehow they all do, which is really interesting. I should have wrote down what some of the famous like celebrities that they mention are. Just super weird. So this girl Satsuki, she moves to this new town with her family, and no surprise, she starts attending school and discovers that through some new friends, the group that I mentioned earlier, they start to experience all these paranormal things. The reason why all of these paranormal things start happening is the town that they are in is being redeveloped and urbanized. So all throughout the town, the places that get demolished by bulldozers and cranes and trucks and stuff hauling things around, redeveloping the area, making parks and newer buildings and that stuff, all the things that get destroyed, like seals and charms that once held spirits at bay. The spirits, they were actually, or not the spirits, the seals and charms that were created by Satsuki's mother. So now they're accidentally being destroyed, releasing the evil spirits from their prisons. Satsuki, however, is in the possession of an old book that was once owned by her mother that details how to deal with these spirits by exorcising them or sealing them away again. In the start of the series, the gang adds an unexpected member to their posse. We did not mention earlier Satsuki's pet cat, Kaya. However, in the very first episode, Kaya, the cat gets in the way of so they come across their first demon in this haunted school named Amano Jaku. And the only way they can do it is to do some weird, like, sealing ritual. Oh, what is it that they...
Fuba.
Yeah,
They have essentially mafubaed him
Yeah.
into the cat. Well, no, they wanted to shoot him into something else, but the cat got in the way.
Right.
yes. So Amano Jaku, this ancient demon, is sealed in the body of their cat, Kaya. Just what? It's the most nuts.
The cat's the best character, in my opinion.
Right. It's like if Salem from
Sabrina.
Sabrina the Teenage Witch, yeah.
Or no, what's the cat from Sailor Moon?
Oh,
Oh,
God.
you're talking about...
Other Salem.
Yeah, was that
man.
it?
I know. It's Luna and something.
Oh,
Luna's
yeah.
the white one. I don't know what the black one was.
Shit, yeah. I don't know.
We'll just say Gigi from
Yeah, Gigi. Yeah, but it's like if Gigi from was it Kiki's Delivery
Yeah.
Service was an asshole.
Yeah,
That's Amano Jaku. He's so funny. Oh my god. It's just nuts. So a little about Ketchiro is so good.
Anytime that laugh comes on, like, I burst out laughing. It's not even a laugh. It's more of him, like, being cowering in fear.
He's constantly referred to as retarded, like literally in quotes.
yeah. The cat just called him retarded.
Yeah, he's straight up. Oh yeah, because so I think it was the episode before where Satsuki at some point. So they have Amano Jaku in like a pet carrier, and they leave the pet carrier with Ketchiro, and they're like, all right, Ketchiro, no matter what you do, don't let him out. So almost immediately Amano Jaku is released from the cat carrier by Ketchiro. He's tricked into doing it because he's like, what, you always listen to everything your sister says? And he's like, well, okay. And immediately when the cat like gets out, he's like, later, sucker, and just runs around the corner.
Right.
Satsuki, like, not even a second later in the show, is like, hey, where's the damn cat? And looks at the cat carrier and goes, what are you, retarded? And Ketchiro goes,
He goes, that.
and so she like mocks him and goes,
Obviously.
So in that next episode, when Amano Jaku does it, he's like they're on like a stage in a school auditorium. Amano Jaku is up in like the rafters, just like running away, and he's trying to talk to Ketchiro, and Ketchiro is just going and Amano Jaku looks at him and just goes, maybe you really are retarded or something.
All right. Here's a quote.
Cat, don't let him out. Okay.
You don't let me out. You're a cat killer.
But they told me not to do that.
Pussy, I guess you always do what your big sister tells you to do.
Okay. Ketchiro. Where's the damn cat? But what? Ketchiro, what are you, retarded? Obviously. Which way did he go? Now we'll never find out who the ghost is. I hope to God you're adopted.
I hope to God you're adopted.
Jesus Christ.
So good. It's like this show is the South Park of anime.
Exactly.
Oh my
It is
God.
100% of what
You know,
it is. Like,
yeah, I believe it.
like
I can see
Ketchiro
it.
is the equivalent of Kenny, where he's the one that's always there. You have no idea what the fuck it is that he's saying. Everyone just constantly makes fun of him, but he's this like plucky little first grader who's like happy to be there.
Always wearing his big ass rain boots everywhere.
Everywhere. Oh my god, he's so funny. I love Ketchiro. Oh shit. So we already got that. Let me see, the writer. Oh, where did that go? I have that with Toru. No, it's up in the top here. Shit, I lost my notes. I'm sorry. There it is.
Technical
yeah,
difficulties.
because there's the title, and then fucking like I should have just pressed like page down one more fucking time because it says at the very bottom the writer, and then the next page. I'm like, oh, that's right there. Toru Tsunemitsu, born in Kochi Prefecture in 1948. He graduated from Kokugakuen University, Faculty of Economics, in 1973. He became a teacher at a public junior high school in Tokyo. In 1985, Toru noticed that the students liked to share ghost stories and rumors. So this led to Toru collecting ghost stories from his students. In the first 10 days, Toru collected over 160 different stories. He presented some of the stories to a magazine that praised his work. I wasn't able to find what publication that was in. Toru rewrote some of them so they could be easy for children to read. So this led to the publication in 1990 of the first volume in the series. In 1994, he became a lecturer at the Faculty of Letters, Gakushuen University. In 1998, he became an assistant professor at the National Museum of History and Folklore. In 2008, he became the deputy director of a National Museum of History and Folklore, retired in 2014 as emeritus professor. He's the 28th president of the Japanese Folklore Society.
Ooh.
Right? Yeah, I mean, he's like... I couldn't necessarily find a ton that he did for manga, but I know he's done more than this. I think there was another big one that maybe he had. He contributed stories to the Kaiden Restaurant anthology series, another Japanese children's storybook series. The books take form of horror anthologies edited by Miyoko Matsutani and illustrated by Yoshikazu Takai and Kumiko Kato. I feel like I've heard of Yoshizaku. That sounds kind of familiar. As of 2007, there were 50 volumes published by Doshinsha. Over 8 million copies of these books have been published so far. That was a book series that was made into an anime in 2009 by Toei Animation. So different series that he helped with. In addition to the children's books, he also wrote a number of nonfiction works about folklore. He did School Tales, development and aspect of oral literary arts by Minerva Publishing in 1993. He did one called Uesato Seishin, a handbook of folklore, Kochi Shimbum. Ethnicity of Gestures, Magical World and Mind, Minerva Publishing. The Path of the Yokai, Everyday Folklore, Kawade Show. Like, there's a bunch of them, and they're all like little short stories for horror. It's nuts how much he did, but there wasn't a ton of different manga.
Okay.
Yeah. What do you guys' favorite like folklore from Japanese folklore?
I love just the entirety of Japanese folklore. There's always something. It's just way more interesting than anything I've heard here in America.
And there's so much like with it too. Like it can be there's like stuff like you wouldn't imagine. Like there's that umbrella monster thing that you've probably seen. Yeah, and a lot of animes. Yeah.
The umbrella monster. A lot of it, I've seen a lot of things having to do with like schoolgirls and women seem to be like a very big.
Yeah, there's that one with the girl with the scar. You heard that one?
Yeah. Oh god, it's creepy. Like, I feel like I could go hours like just diving through different folklore and just come out with trauma because and like not being able to sleep because.
I love me some horror, but I don't really know of any like Japanese folklore. I know of some really like messed up stuff that really happens, like the Suicide Forest.
Oh yeah.
Like if you know the specifics of that, it's really interesting. There's a sign posted to bring basically there's a sign that's like, don't go in here if you're feeling depressed, here's a phone number, blah blah blah.
Right.
But I guess what often happens is it's almost ritualistic. Like for anyone that goes into this forest, they either go in contemplating suicide or just straight up committing suicide. Right. But the way that they do it is they go in with a really long length of string or ribbon and they tie it to the entrance and they walk as far as they can so that if they choose not to do it, they can find their way back out.
Right.
But then, so it's like they look for signs of like, there's still like a string there, and then they just follow it to the body, essentially.
I would.
I've heard though that like even like if you just walk in there like you're not even planning. It's very disorientating, and
Right.
you lose yourself.
There
You
was a
can get
weird
lost.
like paranormal show that I remember watching saying that they think that there's some sort of just the energy of that
Just
place
native
now,
energy, yeah.
right? Like is so now overwhelming.
I
That,
did watch a show long ago. Like oh my god, it has Josh Gates in it.
So Netflix.
No, it wasn't a Netflix show. Well, actually, no, it may have been on Netflix or Hulu. But this guy basically explored all these haunted areas.
Yes, I did.
And yeah, that forest was one of them.
Right.
Oh, wow.
There was also that what was it? It was like a tundra, something about the snow. And they thought that there was like a ghost or like some sort of entity that approaches you on the no, it was that it was a group of like expedition people, and somehow they all died. Like there was, I guess, a few of them, and there's this really weird theory about how they died because it doesn't make sense. Like there was no indicator as to how they died; they just were dead.
Oh, wow.
And there was something about, I think it was like some weird sound vibration of something, like the way the landscape is, that the wind creates some sort of sound, and they say this sound killed them.
Sounds like that movie The Happening, where
Yeah, right. It was the trees.
Okay, talk shit about that movie all you want, but it's one of my like guilty pleasure movies. It is a bad movie by any stretch of the imagination, but the plot is interesting.
I've never seen it. I know about it because I went to a concert in the early 2000s with this band called Chimera.
Oh, yeah.
Like old school, not necessarily old school metal, but like, I mean, what would you expect from early 2000s metal? I love those guys. They're so good. Oh my god. So anyway, I was at this concert and the vocalist in Chimera, he's like talking to the crowd, and like the movie had just come out, and there was a bunch of people hyped about it because it's an M. Night Shyamalan movie, right?
Yep.
Yeah, so there's a twist. So M. Night Shyamalan, he makes this movie, and Chimera was like, so we finally had a chance to get out from the tour bus and go see a movie last weekend, and he's like, who wants to go see The Happening? And like the crowd was like, yeah, like whooping it up, and he straight up goes, don't. It was the fucking trees. The trees killed people there. I saved everybody $20.
I would be so mad if someone did that to me. I'd be in the crowd like, yeah, no.
$20, Phil.
Well, you know what? Maybe I want to waste that $20. Yeah. Would I spend $20 to go see that movie? No. That's why I bought the movie for $10.
That's still too much. I have to wait until $5 Tuesdays. I still haven't seen Doctor
know what?
Strange.
You have
No, I'm trying to go
I haven't
this
seen it
Tuesday.
either, so don't feel bad.
Trying to go this Tuesday.
Do it.
I have watched the new Star Wars that just dropped, Obi-Wan Kenobi
I heard that came
on
out
Disney
today.
Plus.
No spoilers, Brent.
Oh
Yeah,
yeah,
I'm
no
gonna
spoilers.
watch that
but
probably-
damn, I want to rewatch it. It's so good.
Well, all right. Back on our scary topic. Sorry.
Really quick, Phil. Wasn't there's a boulder I sent you guys in a group chat, a boulder that was cursed, that was broken not too long ago, that had a seal on it.
Yeah.
I sent it to you
Apparently, it's supposedly a demon spirit was sealed inside of it, and
Yes.
it broke. So now they're thinking like, oh shit, like bad things are about to
Right.
happen.
Right.
And people immediately just made a meme about the nine-tailed fox, because that's how humanity, does everything. The world could literally be ending, and we'd be making memes about it.
Yeah, I mean, that's what else do we have?
That's just some culture. I love it though.
No, I mean, that's really funny, because not that has anything to do with the show, but because it's an interesting topic, is that movie on Netflix with Leonardo DiCaprio.
I haven't seen that one yet.
Wait,
I've been meaning to.
Okay, hold
It's
on.
basically Don't Look Up.
Yes,
Yeah,
Don't Look Up. Yep.
It's basically a meteor that is coming down, and it's going to wipe out the planet. There's just no stopping it. Mm-hmm. Well, at least they don't think there's any way to stop it, and they're telling all the news, every news outlet about it, telling all the people in power about it, and they're just ignoring it essentially.
That would be the scariest shit for me, is like this looming impending doom.
Right.
Well, so because like in the beginning, it's these scientist kids, he's like trying to do a lesson, and they found some new comet like in the sky, or meteor, or fucking whatever, and he's like, oh cool, you guys want to find out its trajectory? And they're like, yeah, and he like starts to show them to do like how to do the math on finding its trajectory, and he gets down to this number that's like 0.0.00.0, and he's like, hold on, let me check that math again. And like he redoes it, and he's like, holy shit, this thing is gonna hit us. If not, it's going to come super close. But
Oh man.
so they find this thing like many months in advance, and
Right.
they try going to the news about it, and they try going to the president, and like nobody takes this shit seriously.
They just wanna
for
ignore
the
it.
longest
Oh, wow.
time. They think they're crazy. They're laughing it off. They're making jokes about it. The scientists are like in these interviews like yelling at the cameras like, you need to figure out what the fuck to do. Like
Right.
he's pissed and everyone's like, haha, you're so funny, that's so stupid, you're dumb as shit, and everyone makes fun of him. But then like within it was like a
Don't spoil it.
month.
I haven't seen it yet.
Oh, yeah. Well,
yeah.
so not necessarily like any spoiler about it, but like obviously at some point you're going to be able to see this thing.
Oh, yeah.
So at some point finally, you know, the comet's in view in the day, and like the scientists like look up and just run outside and they're like, look up there, like you can't see that, and like people slowly start looking up and they're like, oh shit, like it's real. And dude, I watched this movie like 5 times.
Oh,
I
wow.
shit you not. It is so good. Hey, I love Leonardo DiCaprio. He's so good.
Oh, and Jennifer Lawrence.
And
Oh.
Jennifer Lawrence, she's in it. And
No, I
it's,
don't like her.
and
I'd
it
be
is
a floorboard for her.
exactly what I would expect to happen in this scenario.
Oh yeah, 100%.
The outcome of this movie, I absolutely expect to happen in real life. So I'm not going to say anything else. Oh
Reminds
my
me
god.
of Rick and Morty episode.
Yeah.
Where they had like the end of world parties where Rick was like planet hopping because he was like going through a binge or something with Summer.
Yes.
And then like each planet, they're just going to planets where like a meteorite's gonna come down and destroy them. Rick would just come here and get like it's just fucking wubba dub kind of. He would just get messed up with Summer, and they would just do whatever, then leave right before the planet gets destroyed. And then they're like on the last planet. He like Rick found somebody and he's like, yeah, I'm gonna actually stay here. And then he ends up like people would start doing like really like because the war's gonna end, so they're doing whatever the fuck they want.
Yep.
The Rick's like, I think Rick or Summer, one of them blew up the meteorite, and like, oh, you guys are safe, and everyone's like, oh shit, I have to go to work tomorrow. Fuck.
Oh, whoops.
There's another movie I think with Steve Carell and Keira Knightley. I think she was in it, where it's like finding a partner for the end. It's basically the world's gonna end, and this guy is trying to get to this girl that he had a crush on for the longest time, and he through his misadventures he comes across Keira Knightley's character, and she just is getting out of a terrible relationship, and the two of them team up to get Steve Carell to the girl he has such a crush on, he loves, and it's a pretty solid movie. It's pretty funny.
I like how we've gone from ghost stories to weird shows
Yes,
about
back to
space
ghost
and aliens.
stories. Back to ghost stories.
By the way, black holes are the scariest fucking thing in ever. That's
They
it.
sound exactly how you would imagine they would sound.
Yes, you know. Okay, I know. I know. We said we were gonna talk like about something different. I came across this TikTok of this guy who's a comedian, and he's like, you want to know some like really fucked up shit? He's like, imagine where you're standing right now, and then zoom out a little bit. You're in America, right? Maybe you're somewhere else, but you're on Earth, and then zoom out a little bit more, and you're on just some weird fucking rock floating in space. That's some pretty fucked up shit. Not only are you floating in space, space is infinite nothingness. And that infinite nothingness is getting bigger. What the fuck? That's some fucked up shit, man. Like, he's like, let me put this into perspective. I'm like, yeah, basically that's it. We all suck. We are like the only speck in the universe with life on it, and 90% of people here suck.
You say that. I know there's other life on planets. There's no freaking way
Phil
we
has
are the
been proved
only
that's
one.
Yeah, no, I believe so too. I think I do think there has to be something else.
Unless you're religious, then apparently we're the only life in the universe.
Explain Dino Nuggies then.
Dino Nugget.
Oh no, they think dinosaurs never existed, that we made them up. So
Yeah.
What about the magical Leopleurodon?
a magical Leopleurodon. So speaking of ghosts,
Ghosts.
America, like I obviously because we grew up here and we're from here, we know some more like folklore. But okay, actually, no. Wait, now that I'm saying this, wait a minute. Is Slenderman? Slenderman's not from America. Slenderman is from
It's
Germany, I think.
Really? Oh,
something
I thought it was
like
just
that.
a made up like thing where like people just made it into a video.
Oh no, dude, Slender Man. Like I'm talking about like the legend of Slender Man.
Yeah, but it's like it's one of those newer ones where it was created.
Yeah.
Like,
Okay, that's
it,
what
like,
I-
and
that's
it
what I
wasn't
thought,
like
yeah.
created like I think at one time. I think it was like a combination of like a culmination of things that slowly built into Slender Man.
Okay.
And now Slender Man is like something that little kids know about, and he's characters in like Roblox and Minecraft, basically. And-
Oh,
basically modern.
nope, it is from America. Apparently, it was made in a Photoshop contest by a man named Eric Knudsen from Florida.
Oh,
And
yeah.
basically, the internet came together and created this lore for him, and he's freaking terrifying. And like that's kind of America's own little ghost story. But I love like I fully believe in spirits and the supernatural.
Paranormal stuff, yeah.
I believe that I've encountered some ghosts, at least, or been around them. I've had doors open that were completely locked and that no one was home. I have had my TV remote misplaced.
I'm sure that was in your cat film.
Ooh. No, okay, I guess I want to ask, what are some of your favorite, like, horror films? Like, either English or foreign? I've seen a few foreign ones, too. That are
Oh
pretty good.
man, that is. You know what? Like, I just recently started getting into horror.
Yeah?
Thanks, Kirsten. My
I
friend
have
who made
some
me go.
recommendations for you.
Yeah. Do we count monster films as horror if they are meant to be scary movies?
Like, what do you like? If they're like horror monsters, like maybe
Yeah.
not like the Leprechaun, like those
Oh,
movies.
like the one I just saw advertised today. There's a new slasher flick coming out that's
The Winnie
Winnie
the
the
Pooh one?
fucking
Yeah.
Pooh.
Oh my god, I saw that.
Winnie the Pooh and Piglet go on a killing spree,
They
and
eat
it like,
Eeyore in the trailer.
and it looks like
What?
Yeah.
realistic.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And I'm like, oh,
It's based off the original tale,
Oh.
but in a scarier twist.
Oh yeah, not just scary,
It's-
horrifying.
Oh yeah,
Ugh.
it's imagine Strangers, but with Winnie the Pooh masks. Like Piglet looks terrifying.
Yeah. Dude.
Piglet looks like a real life Roadhog from Overwatch, basically.
Dude, even Roadhog would not want to be near these people. We're here for you,
somebody
Christopher
say
Robin.
Say bacon one more time.
Where's the honey?
But horror movies, Brent. Have you seen 13 Ghosts?
Oh yes.
Yeah.
Yep. I have a story for that too.
Okay. I'm not really into horror movies. As a kid, for some reason, I loved horror movies as a kid, but now as an adult, I'm kind of like, eh.
Really?
I'm not really into
I was
it.
the
Yeah.
exact opposite, but I'm just learning about like certain horror movies. I wanted to go see a horror movie recently, obviously before the pandemic hit. There was a movie planned to come out in 2020 called Antlers, and
Yeah.
it's a movie.
I've heard
looks
about
like
that.
looks like it's a Wendigo is the main like.
You're not supposed to fucking say that, Phil.
Since what?
Wendigo.
I've played.
You guys
I've played Until Dawn. I know about
Exactly, you have to
Wendigos.
say that.
It's
God, I'm about to leave.
I've already said it so many times, like playing Shin Megami Tensei titles.
There
There's
you
no
go.
way. Like that shit ain't real. Verified.
I have played. Okay, I've not watched a lot of horror movies, but I've played and own a lot of horror games.
Okay. Yeah. Yeah.
And I think one of my all-time favorite horror games has got to be Dead Space. We all know.
Oh
this.
yeah.
Those space
Sci-fi
babies.
horror. Hell yeah.
Sci-fi horror is great.
So
The
it-
Callisto Protocol, their new game they're making from the original creators,
Oh,
looks sick. It takes place on a space prison on one of the moons of Jupiter, Titan.
Oh yeah. Yeah.
And apparently they said they want to make this game so brutal that Dead Space looks like a kid's game.
So if you like space horror, have you seen Event Horizon?
Of course I have. We played that when fun fact, me and Brent used to work at GameStop together. We played that as a movie for the Dead Space 3 midnight launch.
We allowed that? I
It was
literally
the Dead Space
do not,
2 or Dead Space 3?
I literally don't remember doing that.
You may not have worked that midnight launch.
Oh man.
I think it was Dead Space 2. That's what it was. Dead Space 2 launch.
I had to have been, because I know I was there for that launch, but I literally do not remember playing event like.
Yeah, because that was our thing back in the day. We used to have we would play a movie or something.
Oh man, we
as
killed it at that GameStop with
yeah, of
like the
course we
midnight
did.
launch events. That was rad. We had a Modern Warfare one time where there was like over 600 people in attendance
God, I
at this
remember
little
that.
GameStop
Days.
inside of a mall. We were there. Oh, it was nuts. Like we had we would hook up with Sears next door. They were literally attached to the mall, and we'd be like, "Hey guys, can we borrow a few of your TVs?" And they would hook us up with like some big ass, like at the time, like plasma LCD, like something huge, 50, 60
yeah.
inches, as big as they got, and we'd get like 6 of them, 8 of them, and we'd host like tournaments and stuff. There was a Modern Warfare 3 one that was massive. I used to work at Pizza Hut, so I was able to get like 40 free pizzas.
Sick. Hey,
We
same.
got we talked to Buffalo Wild Wings, and we got a bunch of free wings. We had a massive Modern Warfare tournament inside of this vacant lot that used to be a massive store. It was just completely empty, and we had tables and chairs and TVs in there. That was
Good
dope.
times.
That was so fun.
Good
Yeah,
days of
Event Horizon.
releases.
Event Horizon is absolutely one of the most terrifying movies I've seen.
Yeah.
I keep forgetting about that because my brain likes to
movie?
push that in the back.
Yeah,
it's what
yeah.
Dead Space. It's one of the oh my god, the inspirations for Dead Space.
Okay.
Imagine this: a guy designs
Sam
this
Neill.
spaceship. he designs this spaceship that can teleport across. Large
like a-
distance. It's like a hyperspace.
Yeah, like a warp drive,
travel. Yeah, warp
right?
drive. That's the word. I couldn't think of the word. But the way that his technology works is that imagine he takes a piece of paper and folds it in half. Is like the quickest way to get from point A to point B is usually a straight line. But what he said, he somehow develops a piece of technology that folds the universe.
Yes, it can fold space.
Fold space so you can get from one place to another almost instantaneously.
Yep.
But the whole point is, where do they go exactly for that
Right, because there's a
moment?
minute where there's at least for a split second you don't exist in both places at once. You go through something. So Event Horizon is the name of the first ship that goes through there, but they're like, where did it go? So this
it
was like one of
disappears for
the-
like 40 or 20 years or so.
Yeah, they had no idea where it went. They couldn't find it. And then just out of nowhere, it was like a mining ship, and they just happen across, they find it, and they're like, whoa, there it is. And they're like, we have to go check it out and like find out what was wrong with it. Like,
Yeah.
what happened?
It's been years. They have no contact with it, and all of a sudden they get like a SOS call, and it's a great film. Has Lawrence Fishburne in it.
Yeah, Lawrence Fishburne, Sam Neill, who's actually in a couple other horror ones too.
His niche.
Man, it's super cool. But yeah, like you, I mean, just like you, if you haven't played Dead Space, the people inside the ship have gone crazy. They've either killed themselves or killed each other. They like gouge out their own eyes and carve things into their skin and shit.
It's because their ship apparently this warp drive used hell as a loop, as a portal.
The place where it went to was the space equivalent of hell, and it brought some weird parasite shit that infected the AI system of the ship, and the ship became sentient, but also evil.
Evil
Of course,
sentient
of
ship.
course.
Yeah, so it's like, it's graphic for its time, because it's like what was it, like early 2000s?
Were there Dead Space babies in there?
No, there weren't babies.
No, not the babies. Screw those little things.
I remember watching like Team 4-Star playthrough there, and the voice guy who did Krillin's Abridged voice was playing through it.
Lonnie
He was just-
Pator, love him.
He was just wailing about the space babies. That's why.
Yeah. So I know, Phil, that you're more a fan of the paranormal
Oh yes.
stuff in general, and let me tell you, that is my favorite horror movie selection is
Okay.
things of the paranormal. So I will say, first and foremost, if you have not seen Paranormal Activity, the first one
is so good.
The first one only. I have seen all of the others. There's a few that are not bad, but the first one will always reign supreme in my book. So good. Like, I always have the fear of the unseen, fear of fighting something that you don't know what it is. Because you don't know what it is, you don't know how to get rid of it. So it's just in your house, and there's nothing you can do about it. And it wants something, but what is that something that it wants? So this couple believe they start having paranormal activity around their home, and they start video recording themselves at night, and they just try to see things that they can, see what they can see that goes on in their house. And over the course of several days, this paranormal activity that goes on just gets worse and worse and worse. And there's so the only clue that you really have that it is a physical entity is there is a point where one of them puts baby baking powder, baby powder down on the carpet or something,
like flour or something.
Yes, and it leaves a footprint. So just this invisible thing that is around their house has this crazy 3 or 4 toed fucking just monster of a foot, and just plops it down. All you need is one footprint, and I was like, oh shit,
man.
I would have been like, I'm fucking out of here, never am I coming back, leave everything behind. I would burn it to the ground, have a ritual right there, and be like, nope.
So I totally forgot this movie. Do you remember Stay Alive?
Stay Alive? I don't think so.
It has Frankie Muniz in it for a brief time.
Oh,
it's the movie about a horror game. Mm-hmm. It's essentially a survival game, but once you start playing, you actually have to. It's basically an evil spirit has possessed this game in a couple discs, or it's possessed the software behind it. Mm-hmm. And basically, when you start the game up and you have to hit terms and conditions. Like we always do in any game anyway.
Yeah.
And apparently the terms and conditions are you agree to play this game, and if you die in the game, you die in real life.
Oh, what?
But here's the thing, is that the game, that you can't turn off the game.
Oh.
Because if you turn off the game, sure, you don't see what's going on anymore, but the game is still technically active. And you're trying to avoid, all the killers that are in this game and the supernatural ghosts that are in this game, and basically the way you die in the game is how you die in real life.
Oh.
And these guys kind of one by one, they find out their best friend died. They thought he committed suicide, only to find out that he was murdered because he's one of the developers of this game.
Mm-hmm, mm-hmm.
And so when they all start playing this game in honor of their friend, this game hasn't been released yet. It's a very exclusive game. And they realize one by one that the game is possessed,
mm-hmm,
and
mm-hmm.
they have to continuously be playing this whole time. Meaning they can never leave their homes, they can't go to work, nothing. They have to keep playing until they beat the game.
Huh.
It's apparently not greatly reviewed. We are looking at a 10% on Rotten Tomatoes and 24% on Metacritic. I thought it was a interesting premise. Some horror movies are just bad movies, but interesting premises.
Right. I mean, I don't know. Horror is pretty hit or miss for me.
You're not scared of much besides
paranormal stuff the PT PlayStation.
Yeah.
What was it, PS4? Right?
Yep.
Yeah, PS4.
It's on that PS4 right behind you. Still,
I love me some horror stuff, and I straight up even a room full of friends. I know that the lights were out, but I'm not scared by much, especially video games. I straight up in the mid stood up and announced to everybody watching. I was like, I can't play this anymore. I
remember.
Put the controller down and walked away.
That's usually my go-to game of, hey guys, want to play a horror game, and I make them play it, and they're like, I don't want to play anymore. Keep playing.
Oh, super good. I mean, now that I've beat the hell out of that demo now, but the first time through
it's
on
still
anything,
creepy. It's still creepy to this day. But I agree. But
have you seen either of The Conjuring, the first two, The Conjuring or The Conjuring 2?
I think I saw the first one.
Okay.
But I see, horror is very weird for me. It's either got to have a good premise for me to get into it, or some great actors.
Right. And, I won't just watch anything. It has to at least be, I don't know. I never got into The Purge.
Oh, those are just so stupid.
It's not my kind of I don't
I wouldn't consider those horror though. I feel like those are just slasher.
Those are
right. Yeah.
Movies.
Well, so I guess but that's I'm not into. I guess some of it is still considered within the horror genre. That's a subgenre of horror is slasher. But yeah, I never really got into any of the stuff where people just kill each other or Saw.
Yeah, no,
that
screw those.
Super
that
my jam. I did like the first one though. That if they had just left it alone and left the first one be this cool piece of art that existed, I'd be like, dude, so good. I loved it. Sinister, about a possession, is really good. Man, yeah.
Apparently, Scooby Doo is considered a horror movie. The live action one.
I mean, I can see it. It's about kids investigating this.
The Haunted
Yeah.
Mansion.
It's Mr. Bean.
Dude, Mr. Bean. So there's a new show coming out that I really want to see that's on Netflix called Man vs. Bee. And
What?
It's Rowan Atkinson somehow facing off against a bee. I don't know. It doesn't have like hold on. No, I'm not ripping this off because the McElroy brothers are all about this. They have MVB watch. So like they do a countdown to like, okay, like 13 days until MVB. I really want to see this on Netflix. It has Rowan Atkinson. Is a comedy series about a homeless man looking for work is mistaken by a businesswoman for her new house sitter. Wacky hijinks ensue as he tries to take care of this house while pursued by a mischievous bee. What in the fuck? So
It's the bee from the Bee movie.
there is a trailer for it now.
Do you like jazz?
Yeah, Rowan Atkinson literally fights a bee. Now it has 10 episodes.
Yeah, that bee is vicious.
Have you seen it?
No, it's not
you
out. It's
haven't
not
seen
out yet, but
Okay.
comes out June 24th, 2022. I'm totally gonna watch
So
this.
I watched an episode and see how it goes.
Yeah, that sounds fun. I'm gonna vote for the bee.
Right?
I'm gonna film for the bee.
Oh
So-
my god.
Back to Ghost Stories, just
Yes.
one clip.
Because we've been talking a lot of diverse.
No, it's
This
just
is
horror in general. So here's the rundown about Ghost Stories, y'all. As funny as it is, it's just if you're gonna watch the English dub, it's just there for comedy.
Oh yeah.
Just pure comedy. It's not really something that it does not have a continuous storyline other than if you want to make it a continuous like storyline, watch episode 1 and then watch episode 20. And that's it. Because 20 is the last episode. Those are the only two that really link together by any means.
Well, I thought that in 20 that a lot of the ghosts that he fought throughout the series made a cameo appearance. Was I wrong?
I mean, they do, but why would you need to know that other than
That's fair.
it's essentially this is the story of a cat gets possessed by a demon. Weird demon cat learns to love children. Weird demon cat dies and demon ends up learning that he liked kids.
That's fair. Now, let's try to piece together the story and the characters here because
there is no story. I mean,
well, that's what I mean. Like, let's try to just piece something together
Really
here.
quick though, can I just share a clip of my favorite part? I think it's yours.
Okay, yeah,
Oh, yeah,
please,
by all means.
Okay,
please.
so they go on mini adventures. They meet a rabbit, right?
Yeah.
Okay, you guys know where I'm going. So
I
I'm just
love
gonna play the
this
clip.
one.
It's like a 53-second clip.
Ooh, I hope that works.
Since I am your favorite among these heathens, you are pathetic. When he died, I was so sad that I would never hear that voice again. His laugh. His funny little requests.
Touch me.
His reprimands.
Touch me harder.
Tommy, please forgive me for bringing you back to life. I know now that it could never work between us. As much as we wanted to, it could never be. Not because you're a rabbit, but because you're black.
Wow.
Yeah, that's the clip I saw on TikTok, and I'm like, this has to be a dub. Oh, sorry, a bridge dub. No, that is legitimately in the
legit.
show.
It sounds just like something Team 4-Star would do.
Right.
This girl has a crush on a rabbit,
Yes.
and this rabbit eats other rabbits and kills people. It's insane. Now this whole plot of essentially, yeah, like you talked about, it's her mom was a spiritualist or whatever back in the day, and she seals all of them, and she go to like, this is how I seal them just in case they ever get out. And it's just a lot of it feels like they're kind of forced into it, and sometimes they actually like kind of are unsuspectingly. They even
Right.
deal with some ghosts that her mom didn't deal with.
Yep.
Like the computer ghost. That was great.
Cyber Ghost.
Cyber Ghost. The characters are all just terrible people. And really, in the long run, they're all terrible.
They are the worst.
Yeah, Satsuki, she is pretty selfish.
Played by Hilary Haig.
She's great. You know, she's basically the one that has to lead the team against all these threats. Her little brother Kechiro, who, you know, has the unmistakable That
Played by Christine Otten.
there you go. You have the kind of the lead male. What's his name again?
Hajime.
Hajime.
Yeah.
He essentially is a giant pervert who constantly
Yeah.
is trying to get a hold of Satsuki's panties and trying to like hook up with like a couple of the girls that are in the show. You have Leo, who is essentially meant to be like the token Jewish guy who gets picked on, but he knows a whole lot about computers. And
He's the nerd.
and he knows a lot about the supernatural. And then you have the older character in the show, Momo. What was her name?
Momoko
Momoko.
Koi Gakubo.
The super religious, like she shoves Christianity in your face and basically rips on Leo for being Jewish, and how she tries to convert Kechiro and teach him the ways. And at one point, she's talking to him, and Satsuki comes up. She's like, "Leo, stop talking! Like, isn't there like an abortion clinic you can go pick it in front of?" And Kechiro's like, "What's up, sinner?" And it's like I said, every line I think will never cross. They cross. And I laugh because I don't know what else to do in that situation.
Right.
Their dad, who is kind of a drunk, he talks about how sad and lonely he is, and misses his wife, who he's like, was she lesbian?
Right.
What was I her first? Like, why was she with me? Type of deal. The teacher,
He's sus. The teacher is
the main teacher, it just like doesn't give a damn about the students, and he just wants to hook up with another teacher. And then the cat, who is just kind of like, haha, I hate you guys, like, fuck you. But then, like, throughout the series, begins like, hey, I'm going to help you guys, because if anybody's going to kill you, it's going to be me. And he does entirely remind me of Salem from Sabrina, and I love that. He was, I swear his voice actor is the same guy, because it sounds so identical.
Yeah.
Yeah, I don't know. We could look that up. Like, I have a couple of like some of my favorite quotes that I just loved from this show. One of them being from Satsuki, where she walks in on Kechiro playing video games, and she goes, "Kechiro, have you done your homework yet? Oh wait, you're dyslexic. Done your homework? Have you? You want an answer? I'm talking. Me too."
Or the super Kechiro comes downstairs. He comes downstairs and he's crying, and he's wearing like cow pajamas that are kind of made fun of throughout the show. And Satsuki's like, "What's wrong? these pajamas are kind of gay." This is back in the day when people use that as an insult. We do not use it as an insult.
No, so again, this is where the show is kind of early 2000s-y, because back in that time, like, people used to, like, gay was, like, okay to say, which, I mean, not necessarily, I mean, as long as you were using it in a generalistic way of, like, a word for, like, you're stupid, sort of thing, where it wasn't, like, actively making fun of anyone for being gay, for saying the word gay or calling someone gay. I mean, I don't know, a lot of times it was just between dudes you would say that just to, I don't know, just because you guys were like tight with each other. That's how it was when you're like best friends with a dude, be like, "Dude, you're so gay." Like,
Dude, let's be real here. The closer you are to your male friends, some of the you know where I'm going.
it's my firm belief that all men secretly are a little gay, maybe.
Oh no,
because
we all
like
know that.
we'll like it is weird. Like, I mean, dudes get together, especially if you're in a band. If you're in a band, everything you could never have met these people a day before in your life, and you'll be like making gay jokes or like trying to be like weird, like, "Am I making you nervous yet?" kind of like gay things, like, "Oh yeah, I'm gonna take that bad boy on a date."
Think of our closest like male group, like, the three of us,
I'll suck you off for a Scooby Snap.
It never happened. But like you, like us three, Brian, Jimmy. How often have we like? How often have we seen like each other's, like on? Because Brian's drunk, obviously.
Oh,
but like
Me, only one, and I never want to talk about it again. Let's not bring that up on here.
We don't want to talk about that here, but like, it reminds me of the TikTok. It's like, why is it so easy to be gay with the homies?
Yeah, I don't get it. Like, it's like the better friends you are, the gayer you can get. But it's
because it's more of like a comfortable thing.
Yeah,
like
it is. It's a comfort thing over here in the U.S. Like, you're comfortable with them, so you joke around and shit.
Yeah. Also, Ryan Reynolds exists, so that's a thing for everybody.
We have to. Yeah.
Is that your crush, Phil?
That's every guy's. Every guy is at least 1% gay for Ryan Reynolds.
Nah, I actually don't like Ryan Reynolds, man.
Then obviously,
who's your dude?
Yeah. Who's your dude?
Give me a second to think about it.
Christian Bale. No,
Chris Hemsworth.
Yeah.
Yeah, not the macho guys. Maybe I'm supporting Team Johnny.
Okay. Yeah.
I'd let him.
Yeah.
Wait, Johnny
Depp.
Johnny Depp?
Yeah.
Did you watch that trial? I watched that trial live as much as I could all week.
Yeah.
Dude,
Same.
He better win. He better.
I am
Dude,
on the
Amber
side
Heard,
of Team Johnny. Like, looking back on all of that evidence, when Camille was addressing Amber for the final time right before the trial ended, like as it ended as her closing statement, she ripped Amber a new one from Sunday to Saturday, all the way. Oh my lord!
Good.
The lawyer is so good.
If they side with her, I lose faith in humanity.
They're saying she actually has a good chance of winning the jury over because she's playing the victim. With
She literally posed for a picture while she was quote unquote crying on stage. No, she's full of it.
I know, but they're just saying, like, since she's playing the whole social media is bullying her, everyone is harassing her online, trying to get them to feel guilty and stuff.
I mean, she literally fired her publicist, not publicist, oh my god, I can't think of the word.
I know you're talking about her.
Yeah,
I read that.
Her PR guy, because they made her look bad. They hired a guy who he himself has a lot of horrible allegations against him. So it does not look good to have this guy on there, but whatever. Like, it's one of those things. And I know some people are thinking that we're just jumping from topic to topic, but here's the thing with ghost stories. It's very bare bones basic. That there's not a whole lot to deep dive.
We're going off the rails here.
It's a parody. It's a parody show with a lot of funny bits and a lot of really shitty funny characters.
Right.
But that's about it. There's no in-depth story.
They purposely did it just to get more likes. They basically we need to make this popular. Let's just make it.
They
funny.
literally did. They were like, make it popular. Where they do whatever it takes. And guys at ADV were like, all right. So they got big voice actors like Hilary Haig, born December 3rd, 1973 in San Antonio. She's been known for Chrono Crusade, Darkwater, Megazone 23. She is married to David Scarborough. The Momoko Koigakubo, who is played by Monica Rial. She's big.
She's also voiced by... she voices Bulma, doesn't she?
Oh, she does a ton of shit. Like, she's one of the biggest voice actors on here. Born October 5th, 1975. She's an ADR scriptwriter affiliated with Funimation and Seraphim Digital Sentai Filmworks. She provided voices for English language versions of Japanese anime films like Excel Saga, Full Metal Panic, Case Closed, Full Metal Alchemist, Blue Seed, Neon Genesis Evangelion. The list literally went on and on and on and on, and I'm like, whoa, she's huge in the anime industry. Hajime Aoyama, played by Chris Patton. He's voiced over 200 anime titles. I didn't want to list all of them, but some of the biggest ones include Dragon Ball Z, Pokemon, Full Metal Alchemist, Soul Eater. He's also narrated over 80 audiobooks. I have to go and find what these are. Yeah, dude, I'm big on audiobooks. If you know me, what the hell? Aiden just passed his phone to me and shows me a picture of Piccolo, but it's Piccolo fused with Samuel L. Jackson. And the top of the screen it says "Special Beam Cannon, motherfucker."
Piccolo's invited to the barbecue.
That's fucking awesome. That's so funny. Yeah, dude, 80 audiobooks, and I'm a big audiobook nerd.
What do you want?
Thanks a lot, man.
Huh?
That laugh gets me every time.
That's the scene where he starts to walk away and he goes, "Your sister was right, maybe you are retarded." Leo Kakinoki, who's the nerd of the group, who's played by Greg Ayers. This is another, like, again, Aiden said earlier, this list is stacked. He was born December 7th, 1968, an American voice actor who works for ADV Films, Funimation Entertainment, and Sentai Filmworks, known for voice acting in shows like Ouran High School Host Club, Danganronpa, Free, Iwatabi, Sim Club, Clannad, Initial D, First Stage, Full Metal Alchemist, Black Clover, and, again, dozens and dozens more. There's Kechiro Miyanoshita, the whiny little child, played by Christine Otten, born on February 26th, 1969 in Huntsville, Alabama. She's also known for Full Metal Alchemist, Bubblegum Crisis, Dark Water, Amano Jaku. This guy was a little interesting. So this guy's actually, he was a stand-up comedian, which, I mean, I guess makes sense. He's on this funny-ass show. So this comedian known as Rob Mungle. I didn't get any of his, like, birthplace or date info. I couldn't find any of that. But he's known for shows like Parasite, Grave of the Fireflies, Food Wars, Dororo, Is It Wrong to Pick Up Girls in a Dungeon, One Piece. He has 194 different accredited titles that he has been a voice actor for. So holy fuck,
Right.
dude, like, these are some people I need to go through, because I've seen so many of these shows. I need to go back and be like, okay, now which exact character were you? And I want to, like, hear it and see if now can I hear that voice? Do I get it? Is it the same? Just super interesting. Man, yeah, I really don't have a whole lot more for this show. Like Phil said, this show is basic as shit. If you want something like really funny, because the dialogue was changed in the original Japanese from like serious show about like a slice of life about kids battling ghosts to this weird tongue-in-cheek humor where characters break the fourth wall. It's riddled with early 2000s American pop punk. You know how long I've been in a band. Pop culture references. One example, like in the first episode, Hajime meets Momoko for the first time. Hajime says something along the lines of, "Wow, she's beautiful." But in the ADV dub, he simply says "giggity giggity," which references Glenn Quagmire from Family Guy. It's just, oh man, it's nuts.
Hold on, I got a scene here.
Lake.
Bloodstained lake.
Despite it being blue?
Oh, it may be blue now, but soon it will be redder than Republican Texas. I can't even look at it. See, right now, I'm even turning away, not looking at it.
You're weird.
No, I'm serious, bitch.
I'm serious.
Swear to God, blue.
The show is just...
It's nutty. Like, the way they changed it is nuts.
And the
awesome,
intro,
though.
the anime intro is so... I had to skip it near the end because, like, it's kind of catchy, but also it just... If you were to watch that intro and then to try to explain what the show is about, you would be very confused. Or probably would get it completely wrong because it has a very upbeat song, but then like all the characters look, they're happy go lucky, you know, it's just like, yeah, we're teenagers.
Right.
It's a slice of life. And then you have a video of like her looking at a giant hulking skeleton, and you're like, what is that? And then like the end of it, they're all like smiling and like posing, like, yeah, summer, like happy, we're friends. And then very different show. It's
The intro, I mean, like you said, I didn't really like it's not one of those intros that rocks, you know. There's some of those shows where you never skip the intro. This is one where I was like, yeah, I've heard it. Now, I will say it's the outro that gets me. I never skipped the outro. I'll talk about Sexy Sexy by Cascade. Dude, it's one of the catchiest beats you'll ever just listen to. Some of the words include, what feels good is paradise if we can meet at that place which burns furiously. Rocket, 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 rocket. sexy, sexy. It has nothing to do with ghosts, but it's such a good song. Where Rocket is actually like rock on. It's interesting because the Japanese word that they use in that place, I didn't look at the breakdown, but it's yoreshite. So they repeat like yoreshite, 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 sexy, sexy. It's so good. Everything about that song is just catchy as hell.
I feel like the show also kind of just abruptly ends right after they defeat the big bad of the show, which doesn't show up until the very last episode.
Yeah,
and it just
there's no build up. It's just a thing that happens, and they're like, "Well, this must be the last episode."
And then they just kind of say, "Oh, this happened to this person. This happened to this person," and it's not a good ending either. Like, it's I'm not gonna say exactly what happens, but I was like, "Wait, what?" And it just.
Well, what could be really weird is that because we're missing so much, maybe there is stuff in the story in the original that leads up to that is never said. Like, if we never watched the original, like if the ghosts all reference a certain entity or something that they know is coming, which then leads up to, oh, it's here, like, and that's the last episode, that's how you know. But in the English version, it's just a thing that happens, and then they kind of do like some, like you said, like some flashbacky shit and show some old stuff, and then they're like, look, new monster.
Yeah.
New monster kills cat dead, devil free, bye.
Come on. It's like I definitely recommend this show to anybody that obviously is okay with that type of humor, because there are some people I feel like nowadays that will not even give the show a chance because of this type of humor in it, which fair, that's all you do you, but I think if you're looking for something stupidly dumb and funny, this is the show to watch.
Aiden, what was the favorite episode?
Ooh. You already know the bunny episode was my favorite.
The episode is so good.
It's so funny.
That's episode 7. I specifically remember that.
Yeah, you messaged me. You messaged me the same day I started watching that episode, and you were like, "This is the episode. Right. You're welcome."
Touch me.
I'm sorry. Did Seth Rogen voice that bunny? Like, his adorable laugh. His request. Touch me.
His reprimand.
Touch me harder.
Oh yeah,
so good.
That just, I can't even think of like my favorite episode. They're all so good.
Yeah, they're all funny.
I think like as the show has gone on, like each closer to the end, it gets raunchier and raunchier. And I think maybe my favorite episode might be the. Okay, now if I had to pick one, it might be either the bunny episode or the school announcements episode.
Oh yeah, that was good.
With that one incredibly horny teacher that just kept where the kids are like, "We are very uncomfortable listening to you right now."
I loved the episode where they are doing the kids like triathlon thing, the sports event. There's a ghost that for some reason is attached to kids that like to run because the ghost hates running.
I think he lost his feet or something like that, so he tries to claim their feet.
Yeah,
he's got a foot fetish.
No, I don't think it was that he lost his feet, but he died in an accident. Something to do with, I think it was like his friend was a runner and he beat him in a race or something, or it was something really stupid where I was like, oh, that was your issue? Probably not what it originally was, but it was just the ghost just wanted to know that running was just for fun, and because Kechiro enters this event to go run, and they decide, they figure out that Kechiro can't run for shit. so they go to train him, and this ghost is just running behind him on the track that Kechiro thinks has befriended him, so he can see him and talk to him, and he's like, running's fun, and he's like, here, you can. He tells him, you can go ahead and win, and that's what lets the ghost
steal his feet.
Yeah, he doesn't say the ghost doesn't do anything. That's how he doesn't. Yeah, that kid. the ghost, but yeah, so the ghost does have that foot fetish where as he's running, he's talking to, I think, Satsuki. He's like, I'm gonna take his feet.
No, you don't. I'm gonna do it.
Kechiro's he has the best moments, I feel like.
Why don't you just stay home?
Really?
What are you saying, Kechiro? Could you wear a wig and a dress?
I think I'm in enough trouble.
Stuff abroad. Make sure you tie your pee-pee down. don't want to be the only kid without a mom. Can't you, Al? They beat me up all the time. I don't need another goddamn reason. You, watch your goddamn mouth.
I'm off the hook.
Such a shitty dad.
So funny. Yeah, shit. I mean, that might wrap it up for our episode on ghost stories. I hope you don't mind that we got so sidetracked because, I mean,
Well, really quick before we end it.
yeah. You have more? Yeah.
No. Well, I was just gonna ask you guys real quick. It's been a while since I asked you guys some random anime questions about us. Since it's been a while now since I've asked one.
Yeah. Okay. Yeah.
Aiden's random anime questions.
All right, real quick for each of you, what anime do you guys think is overrated or overhyped?
One Piece.
One Piece. Explain, Phil.
The author doesn't know how to end it, so he keeps making more.
But it's not bad. It doesn't get bad. It just stays.
I mean, here's the thing. There's over 1,000 episodes. I'm never going to know if it's good or bad because I'm never going to watch something that's that long.
I started and I'm almost done with it.
Really?
Almost caught up, yeah.
Wow.
Well,
That's dedication.
This is gonna sound terrible. When's the last time you worked?
Don't worry about it.
I tried.
That's why.
It was over 10 years ago. I tried watching it and I made it to like episode 150. I binged a bunch of it, but at this time I think there was only like 500 or so episodes. So I made it to like 150 and was like, and that's enough. Like, I haven't seen enough.
I think I got to the Alabasta Kingdom, and that was about it. And that's not that far into it.
Yeah.
No, I guess there's like some movies that shorten it up a bunch. Like I think one called like the Grand Blue Line or the Grand Line, and it like covers a fucking huge chunk of episodes in like an hour and a half.
Yeah, I think right now there's 8 movies. I think 8 to watch the entire series.
Yeah,
and
so
basically
it
summarizes the entire. Yeah.
Yep.
The fact is, I could watch the entirety of the Dragon Ball franchise, and it be about half as long as One Piece.
Oh yeah.
That's insane.
Right. Well, like you said, he doesn't know how to end it, so he's just kind of flying by the seat of his pants, and he's like, I mean, because it's one of those shows where anything and everything that you can imagine happens does happen.
You look at the character designs, and they get wackier and crazier as the story's gone on because he just doesn't give a shit anymore.
No,
like
he doesn't.
He's going big. Like the fact is, it's been like years since like the big bad of the entire series was officially revealed, and they've done nothing with it. I occasionally like look at the One Piece fandom wiki and look at how the story is going, and there's some cool moments. Don't get me wrong, there's some cool updates and characters have done some cool things, but the fact is he hasn't fought the big bad of the series since his introduction, and nothing's really been done with him.
Yep.
And that's just there's a point where you're dragging on a series just to drag it out, and that's not good in my opinion. Now, to everybody who loves One Piece, great, more power to you, but don't expect any new person to be able to hop in and
for me.
watch all of it. Unless you're
Aiden.
Yeah, unless you're Aiden.
All right. For me, my anime, I think that's overrated. So I don't get me wrong, I like this anime, but I think it's super overhyped. Like Hunter. Like so I like it. Don't get me wrong, but I don't think it's as good as people say. I watched the entire series. I watched it like 3 times. It's not bad. This is something I play in the background now. I'm like,
but it's decent.
It's not as good as any other. Like I feel like it gets really boring at times. There's a lot of times where it's just kind of.
I can see that.
But the only good arc in it is the Chimera Ant arc. That arc was really good.
I haven't seen that arc. I'm waiting for it to come out in Netflix, which it should be coming out.
It is on. That's where I watched it.
Oh, really? Is it out yet? Oh, damn.
That arc itself was really good, but everything else is kind of like subpar. It's not bad. I get the plot. I think it could be a lot better, but like I'm spoiled with other anime. I've seen a lot of anime, so like I have high expectations.
I really
what do you think?
lose I don't know, the point of Hunter x Hunter after a while. Like, and it's pretty, for me, it's pretty early on. Like, I love the stuff where they get into like early Kahlua, like what his whole deal is, where he's from, and like the place he lives, and he has like his parents are like really rich or some shit.
I thought it was Killua.
Killua. I don't know. Killua. I don't.
It's like Kilowatt because he does lightning.
Oh yeah, sure. Yeah, I get that. Whatever. I haven't spent a while since I've seen the show, but like he's this assassin who is the child of other professional assassins with a family of assassins.
Right.
And I'm like, oh, like that's pretty cool. And like it gets kind of neat for a little while, and then like somewhere shortly after there, I start to lose interest.
I feel like every time they get a cool power up and you're like, oh man, like these kids are actually pretty strong, and then someone else comes around and just knocks the shit out of them, and you find out, oh, you thought they were strong? Not even close.
Yeah.
It's like the power gap keeps getting bigger and bigger when they show how strong these kids are at the beginning, and then you find out later, like, oh, they're not shit in comparison to anyone else.
You know,
Except for the old man, the master guy. He was.
I love the master. That he's
really
cool.
strong, yeah.
Especially like he keeps finding these ways to like meet his dad, and they're like, oh, foolproof, you got this, and then they're foolproof. They don't work. They like when he used. I can't go into like the whole backstory, but when he uses the card from the real life video game to teleport to his dad, which should have been it was gonna work, and that didn't work.
Yeah, right. So, shit. I mean, what one do I think? Fucking Bleach. I'm just gonna say it. Bleach. Hey, thanks everybody for listening. I appreciate everybody for tuning in. I want to thank Schminkadelic for the use of our intro and outro. Thank you for anybody that listens. I know I'm going to say this every single episode because we don't have ads. I would like to get big enough to where we do have ads. So please like, share, subscribe, comment, follow, ring a ding, whatever the fucking bell is on your app or whatever that notifies you of new stuff. Leave a comment. Give us 5 stars. Give us, if it's a 1 out of 10, give us a 10. Or if 1 is the best, give us a 1. In whatever instance 1 being the best
Give us
is.
the max, please.
Just please. Thank you. I appreciate all of you. Schminkadelic, thanks again. Absolutely appreciate you for the music. I will see you at work again, homie. Thanks again for listening. This has been the Men of Zen. Once again, I'm Brent.
I'm Phil.
And I made it.
Stay Zen.